Hello and good afternoon. Yes, I'm finally up. Good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson. Sorry, I am a tad late. We've looked at tad before. Sorry, I'm a tad late. Tad meaning a little. So sorry that I am a tad late, but I'm now up. I'm here, ready for ready for today's lesson. And today is story time, and we are going to be looking at Harry Potter. That's where we're going to take our influence from today. Stefano says, "Good afternoon, dear teacher." Good afternoon, Stefano. I hope you're well. It is the afternoon. It's 4 o'clock in Malta. I am not in Malta at the moment, but it's still afternoon, and therefore it's time for a cup of tea. Hello, Richard. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you as well. I hope you're doing well, Bruno Okada. So, guys, this week we are going to look at Harry Potter. And with Harry Potter, we are going to look at language. And we're going to pull out grammar. We're going to pull out new words. We're really going to try and explore the language a little bit. And this way, it's a really good way to build our language. Arena says, hello. Good afternoon. Privyet, Arena. Good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson. I hope you're doing well. It is a Friday, and Friday, well, it's the end of the week. That's all I can say on Friday, really. If you're watching later, make sure that you fast forward about 5 minutes. It usually takes us 5 minutes before we get in. I've started late, so I will finish late. Just to tell you guys one or two bits of information. First of all, a really big well done and congratulations to a student named Julian. Julian did really well in his IELTS exam. He came to Malta, he came to AM language, and he did his IELTS preparation with us. It was really challenging because of COVID-19 and all that was going on. And he did his exam, and I'm really pleased to say he managed to score a 7.5. Now, if you don't know what a 7.5 is, a 7.5 puts you at an advanced level of English. It's C1. Proficiency would be C2. But C1 is really good, and 7.5 is a very, very good overall score. It means that you can then go on to do certain things like master courses as well at university. Now, when Julian arrived, he was a good upper intermediate. And during his time, he was able to improve his IELTS band score by a whole band. Now, that's not easy to do, let alone having to deal with COVID-19 and all the disruption that brought. So a big well done to Julian. So if you are interested in taking IELTS AM language, I'm very happy to say here is really building a very good reputation for it. I'm very pleased with what's happened with IELTS at AM language. Last year, the average band score was 7. And this year, despite COVID-19, I'm so pleased to see that students who have taken IELTS as a result of doing IELTS at AM language were still able to get the IELTS band scores they wanted. And so far this year, 7.5, well, that's fantastic. Alida, good afternoon, and buenos dias as well. Bruno Okada says, I hope to, the other way around. Yeah, I hope to go to Malta as soon as it's possible to study at AM Language with you, teacher. Thank you very much, Bruno. I would say we've got some amazing teachers. We are very lucky at AM Language. We have some really, really good teachers. We've got some teachers, teachers who have been either been, some teachers there have like over 20 years experience, who have taught all kinds, be it Cambridge, IELTS, business English. We've got some really good business English teachers, and I'm very pleased to say we have some excellent IELTS teachers as well at AM Language. And they come from all different backgrounds. Some of the teachers, they come from a law background as well, and they are really good. Some more from a medical background, and some more from a traditional teaching background as well. I think a really important aspect that makes a really good teacher as well is a certain amount of life experience. It's that life experience that can really bring a class and a language to life. And I'm really pleased to say that AM Language, we are very lucky. We've got some very, very good teachers. And results like with Julian today getting a 7.5, it's always encouraging to hear. So let's dive straight in. First of all, let me know who here likes Harry Potter, and did you read Harry Potter growing up? I did read Harry Potter growing up. It's a really interesting story, Harry Potter. It's on the surface, you might think it's just a child's story, but the meaning and the background to Harry Potter is actually very, very deep. Some really interesting ideas. We'll see how we get on to today. We will be pulling out new vocabulary. We'll be looking at grammar. And if we can, we'll try and also really explore the language in terms of the meaning and what aspects of the story might actually be talking about. So Valentina says, Valentina, welcome to the channel. Welcome to today's lesson. Valentina says, I've read all books, love this story. Excellent. Well done, Valentina. I'm very happy you like Harry Potter. Arena, hello, good afternoon, Arena. And this is my favorite story. So we've got some students here who are very, very happy that we're looking at Harry Potter. And the thing about Harry Potter is that it speaks to a lot of ages as well. I think it's fair to say that I think it's fair to say that there's a lot of things that the themes within Harry Potter, you've obviously got good versus evil. I think one of the most interesting themes is actually the fact that Harry Potter, because he's got the scar on his head, there's a bit of darkness to him as well. And that darkness is obviously very important. It's an important part of who Harry Potter is. Okay, so we're going to look at one particular type of Harry Potter story today. Now, I'm just going to pick from a random chapter from a random book. So if you like this sort of thing, then we can always go through things step by step later on. But today, I'm just going to go from a random chapter. And this is going to be from, I think, the second book, which was published in 1998, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So that's what we're going to go for here. Okay, now I'm on chapter 10 here. I'm just clicked on chapter 10. So we're just going to take a look at some random bit of language. Alida says, I've never read or seen any Harry Potter movies, so I'm only going to listen today. Well, Alida, we shall see. We shall see. Maybe you have more to say than you realize. I just want to bring up something, by the way, and it's a translation, and it's just in text. So some of you might see, if you have South American friends, okay, you might see this, which is to do with laughing. In British, well, in American and UK English, we would go with either this or that, or this one, okay? So you've got, in Spanish, you would have in English, we would call it a J, but I think in Spanish it's a Y sound. And in English, we would write it with an H instead of a J. I just wanted to point that out as a difference between the languages. But I am amazed, Alida. I think you are one of the very few people I can say that have ever told me that they've never read or watched Harry Potter. It's a bit like someone saying that they've never read or watched Lord of the Rings. Alida says, I'm not very keen on science fiction. Fair enough. It's not for everyone, science fiction. That's true. So, well, I would say science. Technically, Harry Potter comes under fiction rather than specifically science fiction. Science fiction is its own category. You've got fantasy fiction, and you've got science fiction, and Harry Potter comes under fantasy fiction stories. Wow, Alida, neither Lord of the Rings, neither. Well, fair enough. You know what? You're probably a bit like. Let me know what sort of books you like to read or stories that you like to read. It's an international community, so it'd be nice. Maybe in the future we look at a book in the sort of genre that you yourself prefer to look at. So let's have a little look at some language here. Now we're going to take it step by step, okay? And I don't want to go too quickly, but let's have a little look. Okay. Ah, no, I can't. I can't simply just copy and paste. I thought I was going to be able to copy and paste this. Never mind. I will have to just type a little bit. So what I'll do is I'm going to read a little bit to you guys. And then actually, there's a fantastic listening activity that we can do here, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to try and put together the sentence after I have read it, okay? So this is a good way to try and make sure that we get down the main keywords, and then can we build the sentence up again, and then we can look at it. So I'll just read what we're going to look at here. So they left the hall quickly, wanting to unwrap the broomstick in private before their first class. But halfway across the entrance hall, they found the way upstairs, barred by Crab and Golly. Malfoy seized the package from Harry and felt it. That's a broomstick, he said, throwing it back to Harry with a mixture of jealousy and spite on his face. You'll be in for it this time, Potter. First years aren't allowed them. Ron couldn't resist. It's not any old broomstick, he said. It's a Nimbus 2000. What did you say you've got at home, Malfoy? A Comet 260? Ron grinned at Harry. Comets look flashy, but they're not in the same league as the Nimbus. So here there's a story going on whereby they're comparing two different types of broomsticks. So let's make sure we first understand key language here. Okay, and we're just going to pull out some important words here. So first we've got I'll tell you what words we're going to look at, okay? So we need to have a look at unwrap, obviously broomstick. We need to know what a broomstick is in this case, because that is going to have a lot of meaning. We need to have probably a little look at the word barred and seized. Two very good words here to look at. And I'll put these into sentences, and then you guys can have a look. You will see that a lot of this language is going to be actually. I'm going to leave you guys to tell me what sort of grammar they're using here. Jealousy and spite. Two really important words, I think, that we're going to have a look at as well. Okay, and I think resist as well. Couldn't resist is a really good one. And I think, and grinned. Okay, let's go with that. I think that will then be enough language to start us off. Resist and grinned. Okay, so let's try and now look at these new words. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 words that we can now look at. I'm going to put them now into a different sentence. And I would like you guys to try and tell me what you think. I would like you guys to try and guess which one is the correct meaning or synonym to the word when I put it into a context. So let's start off with unwrap. Okay, now the first thing we need to know about wrap is that it's got this W at the beginning, but the W is silent. Positive wrap, and when it's the opposite, so negative, it's unwrap. Okay, so we're going to please read it like this. The W is silent. We do not say the W. Otherwise, it would be what. Wow, whap, whap. You couldn't even do it. It just sounds ridiculous. Okay, so. Okay, let's go for this. Right, so I'm going to write it in a different context, okay? So I've written here, it was Christmas morning and Harry wanted to unwrap his present. What do we think unwrap his present means? Does it mean A, leave it, B, B, open his present, or C, give it? Like give it to someone else. So what do you think the word unwrap means? Bruno, a leader, have come in straight away with B, and that is correct. Valentina as well says B. Excellent. Well done. Great stuff. Okay, let's look at the next one. And this is an important one before we move on. Broomstick. So we could write a sentence. Harry flew on his broomstick. Question is, what is a broomstick? Is it A, a plane? And I'm going to put it into this context as well. Is it B, something you clean the floor with, or is it C, or is it C, something that you would normally clean the floor with, but instead you can use it to fly. So we're looking at the meaning of broomstick in the context of Harry Potter. Is it a plane? Is it something you clean the floor with? Or is it C, something that you would normally clean the floor with, but instead you can use it to fly? Alida, Bruno, and Valentina have all got the correct answer. It is indeed C. Well done. So off to a very good start here. Let's move on to the next one, Bard. Bard is a very what level would you come across Bard in English? You probably would come across it maybe intermediate, maybe definitely upper intermediate. I would say more like upper intermediate. But to give you an example here. So Harry was barred from going through the doors. Okay, we've got this. It's a sound of like a bar, just like a bar where you go to get a drink, but you add a D on the end, barred. In the present, it's just bar. And then we turn it into a regular verb. So, does it mean A? Stopped from going in. B, thrown out of a place. Or C, stuck in the door. So Harry was barred from going through the doors. Does this mean he was stopped from going in? Does it mean he was thrown out of a place, told to go away? Or does it mean C, stuck in the door? If you're stuck in the door, it means the door and you are together and you can't move. Irina has gone with B, thrown out of a place. Okay, let's see if the others agree with you, Irina. While we're waiting, you might see that this, I have a lovely Maltese mug here, actually, with some Maltese, with a Maltese word. This is not Madonna, as in the singer. This is a Maltese word here, so please don't get confused. So Irina has come in with B, thrown out of a place. Would anyone else like to have a go? Harry was barred from going through the doors. I'll give you another example just in case you're not too sure. Alida has gone with A, stop from going in. I'm going to give you another option here, and this is just another example. I was barred from entering the club. So that could give you a clue. Bruno Okada has also gone for A. Okay, guys. Well, I can tell you the correct answer is A. Barred means to be stopped. You are stopped from going through something or entering something. You're stopped from whatever it might be, really. So you can be barred from a place, for example. Now, in the present, by the way, it's just bar, by the way. It's like, is it like banned? If you say it like this, I'm barred, and yes, it means it's a synonym. It can be a synonym for I'm banned. It's true. Now, in the present, you would just say, now the infinitive form is just bar. So to make it a regular verb, you add another R and then you add ED. But if you want to say I'm banned, you can also say I'm barred. I'm prevented. I'm stopped from going there. You can be barred from a place, barred from a country. Okay, so let's continue here. Now that we've looked at barred, let's seized. Now, in the present, it's seize, to seize something, okay? So you've got seized. In the present, you would just go to seize, okay? So let's look at this context here with this word seized. Oops. Okay. Harry's broomstick was seized from him. What does this mean? Does it mean A, it was given to him? Does it mean B, taken from him? Or does it mean C, borrowed? So Harry's broomstick was seized from him. Does this mean it was given to him, taken from him, or borrowed? What do you guys think? Now, in this context, to give you a little bit more, we've got, I'll read the actual sentence here. So again, they left the hall quickly, wanting to unwrap the broomstick in private before their first class. Halfway across the entrance hall, they found the way upstairs, barred by Crabbe and Golly. Malfoy seized the package from Harry and felt it. So we've got this character, Malfoy. And Harry's got this present, and Malfoy seizes the present from him. I'll give you another idea of what the word might be by giving you another sentence. So in the present, no, sorry, not in the present. What I'm talking about, past. So the police seized all the stolen gold from the thieves. So this is another sentence where we're seeing this word seized. So you guys can have a little think. We've now got two options, two sentences, two examples here. Do you think it means A, it was given, or do you think it means B, taken? Alida, Bruno Okada, you are correct. It's B. Seized means to take. Now, there's lots of examples of this. You can land can, if we're using the passive, you could say land can be seized, your house can be seized, your car could be seized, your country could be seized by someone else. So anything that is a possession can be taken, and therefore in this language, and therefore yes, seized is the word. It's a good one to come out with. Okay, let's continue this. So we've now gone, okay, I'm going to look at the next two, okay, jealousy and spite, just to quicken the pace here. So we're going to go with jealousy and spite. Jealousy and spite. So okay, so we've now come up with this little sentence. Let's see what we can do with it. So we've got jealousy and spite. What do we think jealousy and spite mean? First of all, I'll also tell you exactly important things that you need to know about these two words. Spite could be used as a noun and it could be used as a verb, of course. Jealous is going to be used as well as an adjective. So there's lots of things there. So let's have a look. A. Jealousy and spite. Does it mean A? What's the best way to go about this? Because there's a few ways of writing it, but I don't want to make it too difficult, and I don't want to make it too obvious either. Yeah, I think we can just go with that. So it doesn't mean A, you really want what they have. So that would be jealous. And spite, a strong dislike for someone. Doesn't mean B. I'm only going to give you two options here, A or B. So is it A, you really want what they have? So that would be if you think that's what jealousy is. And B, a strong dislike for someone, and a strong dislike for someone being spite. And B, for jealousy, a strong dislike for something, and for spite, you hate what they have. So what do you think? Which one is the correct? Okay, right. You both of you, Alida and Bruno, very quick off the mark here to come in with your answers. So well done, because the answer is in fact A. Good, well done. Let's continue. And then we're going to try and put all of this together before the end of the lesson, like we always do when trying to build our language. We've got two more words here: resist and wrap. Resist and no, sorry, and grin. Okay, so we've got first of all, we're looking at resist. We'll give it put two different sentences. Okay, so that's the first one, and the second one. Resisted. So, what does resist mean? I couldn't resist. It just looked too tasty not to try. Resist. Harry resisted from hurting Malfoy. So, does it mean A? Does it mean A, you are able not to stop yourself? Does it mean A, you are not able to stop yourself, or B, you are able to stop yourself? We're looking here just at the word resist. We've got two examples of how you can use resist in the positive and in the negative. But what I'm looking for here, and don't get confused, is what does the word resist mean? Not based on just one context. So Alida has said A, you are not able to resist, and Bruno says you are not able to resist. Okay, that can only be the case if you've got couldn't resist. If you couldn't resist, then you are not able to stop yourself. But if you can resist, so the positive, it means B, you can resist. You can stop yourself. So the definition of resist is to stop yourself, or to stop, or someone stops themselves. If you couldn't resist, it means you were unable to. So it depends how you use it, positively or negatively. Okay, so that has taken us pretty much, I think, to the, we've looked at all the words that we need. Grind. Okay, no, grinned, sorry, grinned. Harry had a grin on his face. Malfoy grinned at him. What does grin mean? Or grinned. So grin can be a noun, and it can be a verb. So it can be a grin or to grin as well. Now, what do you think grin is? Does it mean A? So you've got a frown, which is this. And you've got grin, which is this. Okay, so then you have to think, what do you think grin is? Sorry, smile. Okay, so but okay, so you guys think maybe A, to have a frown. So Malfoy grinned at him. Harry had a grin on his face. I'm going to show you what a grin looks like, because a grin looks like this. So look at my mouth. Okay, what do you think? Is it some kind of smile, or is it a frown? Okay, so smile, frown, smile, frown. Alida's gone with B. Bruno has gone with A. The answer is B. It's a smile, but it's a type of smile. It's not a warm, joyful smile. It's a grin is a type of smile that might have a negative or silly intention. So a grin doesn't just mean you are happy. A grin is maybe, it could be mean lots of things. So it is a smile, but it's a type of smile. For instance, let's say you are watching football with your friend, and your friend's team loses, your team wins, and you grin at them. It's a smile of satisfaction. A grin, there's always a meaning behind a grin. Maybe it's satisfaction, maybe there's a negativity behind it. Maybe it's like, because you're grinning because you are pleased to see the other person in trouble, or you could, could just be silly. It could be something humorous, like you're finding something very funny, you end up grinning. So there's something that brings you delight, but it's not the same as a happy, joyful, warm smile. So it's not very expressive. You know what? It's one of those things whereby, with a grin, Alida, I would say the eyes are more expressive than the smile. So the smile could be anything, but it's the eyes that tell you maybe what the meaning behind the smile is. And I would say that's actually an important, come to think of it, I think that's a really important thing to remember. So a grin is, the smile isn't telling you as much as the eyes. The eyes are telling you more than the smile, really. Um, Excellent. Right. So we agree. So let's see if we can now apply the correct words to the different sentences. Okay. So we've got, let's look at at important ones here. I think we should definitely look at Bard, seized, I think spite, uh, jealousy, grin. Um, Let's go with one more. I don't want to do all of them again, and I think maybe unwrap. Okay, so we're just going to look. We now need to complete these sentences below with the correct words that we have looked at during this lesson. We're not going to look at all of them, but we're going to look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So out of the 8, we're going to look at 6. Let's see if you can put them in the correct order. Okay, let's do this. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so let's have a little look at this. So we've got A to F. We've got to think about barred, seized, spite, jealousy, grin, and unwrap. You might need to change some words into the past. So maybe instead of unwrap, you might have to go with unwrapped because it is a regular verb. A grin might have to become grinned, for example. So Harry something is present. Malfoy was of Harry's present and was full of he Harry's gift and as he threw it out the window. He then Harry from leaving the house. So you'll have to use all of them. Think very carefully. If now I do suggest try and make everything in the past because we're telling a story. So keep everything in the past. So if you need to make a verb into its past form, don't forget these are regular verbs, the ones that we're looking at. And there's also an opportunity to look at some prepositions as well. The dependent preposition of some words here. So let's see who the first person is to let's see who the first person is to get this one correct. I think in the future I think something like this lesson would be quite good if there's a prize at the end of it, like the opportunity to win something. Maybe that's something that could be done in the future. Not at the moment, but maybe in the future. As the channel grows, maybe there'll be an opportunity to introduce different types of competitions here and there. While we wait, what I will say, so Halida's been quick here. So Halida's coming with A, unwrapped, B, jealous, C, spite, D, seized, and E, grinned. Okay, so unwrapped. So Harry unwrapped his present. That's a good start. That goes. We don't forget we need double P. It's a bit like when you add grinned, you have to add an extra N. Be jealous. So Harry unwrapped his present. Malfoy was jealous of Harry's present. Excellent, well done. And what you will see, guys, here is she is right. Alida's right. Jealous is B, and what you will see is the preposition of jealous is of. So make a note of that, guys. Whenever you use the adjective jealous, the preposition of jealous is of. C is spite. Let's see. Harry's present. So Malfoy was jealous of Harry's present and was full of spite. Excellent. Well done. We've used it as a noun there. D, he seized Harry's gift. Well done, Alida. That is correct. To take. And E, you've gone for grinned. And so he seized Harry's gift and grinned as he threw it out the window. He then barred. Well done, Alida. Harry from leaving the house. So that is the correct answer. So well done. A big like for Alida as she got all of these ones correct. So guys, unfortunately we've come to the end, and it means we're not going to be able to have time to go into the other things that we could go into when looking at a story like Harry Potter. I'm in the process at the moment of making some short videos. I do know at the moment, if you are of different levels, well, that didn't make sense. Okay, so let me start again. You all are of different levels. I know that. If you want me to look at anything specific, just ask. A leader asked me the other day, and so that's why we're going to look next week at present continuous versus will. I am in the process of trying to make short videos as well that I can then upload. And when doing so, these aren't going to be long videos. They're going to be under 5 minutes that explain a particular aspect of language. So that is something to look forward to. If you want me to look at anything, just say so. If I speak too quickly, let me know as well. If you want me to look at something that maybe is easier, not as difficult, or maybe something harder, just ask. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. A big thank you to Alida, Bruno Okada, Arena F, Leondina, Sergio, Valentina, Arena, because we have 2 arenas, and anyone else, Stefano as well, and anyone else who has watched today's lesson. I'm sorry we didn't spend more time just looking at Harry Potter. Bruno says thanks and have a nice weekend. You too, guys. Have a great weekend. As always, if you click on the description below, you will always find links to our page, our pages on social media, and of course our website, where you guys can find out how you can have actual physical lessons in Malta at AM Language. Have a great weekend. Subscribe if you're new. Make sure you share, and I will see you guys next week. Take care, be safe, and bye for now.